Hi, I'm Chart Gal Lori, and I'm part of the Chart Guys community. I've been a trader and technical analyst for the last 8.5 years. Today, I'm going to bring to you a market recap for Tuesday, May 7th, 2024. I'm going to look at the indices, crypto, commodities, and movers and shakers of the day. I want to make my face smaller. Let's see if I can do that. Well, there we go. All right, we fielded the question today. The question was, why is the market moving higher and ADD moving lower? I thought this would be correlated in the same direction. Great question. I've fielded this question many times. It is a wonderful question. So why would ADD look better and then the market pull down, or look worse and the market going up? If the Russell is leading to the upside or to the downside, it can disguise market internals and make it noisy. And I just want to point out to you, the Russell has 2,000 names in it. S&P 500, NASDAQ 100 names, and the Dow 30 names. So if the Russell is leading, which it was leading today, if it's leading, it has 2,000 names in it. So it can make the internals look great, but the market's pulling down. And vice versa. When Russell looks bad, then the market could be up and you get confused, like what's going on here? So let's look at it. Our large names were heavy, and all the other names, and not all, but generalizing, the majority of the other names were green, but it was the big names that were weighing us down. We had poor breadth. We want our big names pulling to the right direction and the other names. Healthcare and financials had a great day, XLF and XLV, but it wasn't enough to pull up the market. And let's look at those internals. So we had, in the morning, we were trending above the zero line, the 12 and 26 EMA. And then around 11, we started trending below the zero line, and we had sustained, we did not have sustained ticks of negative 600, but we did have some negative ticks. But considering how heavy the market felt, it was not jiving with the Russell. It's like, wow, the Russell looks great, but the market is really pulling down here. So we had some mixed messaging. So here is the volatility. Look at the volatility. I mean, fear exited stage right, but yet we were pulling back a lot during this time that VIX was pulling back. ADD was pulling back pretty hard, and the market was holding up okay. And then the dollar was super strong, and the dollar, I think, really weighed on the market the last half of the day. All right, let's look at some of the names. These are names that didn't break the prior day low, and I posted this an hour ago. I need to go back and check it. But I'm going to look at this list first thing in the morning and say, okay, did Apple maintain that low yesterday? Amazon, Google, Game, Meta, NVIDIA, SMCI. If so, they're going to be my bull names for tomorrow, looking for 4-hour and daily higher lows. Names breaking the low of the prior day, MSTR, Snow, Tesla, they're going to be on my bear list. And this is how I kind of bifurcate the names and say, okay, which one names tomorrow? I'm kind of getting my prep done for tomorrow. XLF and XLV cleared the prior day high and was holding strong all day. Let's see how they closed XLF. XLF, this blue line and green line, they're actually merged because it's the same number, 4107. We did not breach the prior day high. So Monday's high was 4107. The lowest we got today is 4110. Bulls defended yesterday's high and didn't allow bears to penetrate the range. That is bullish. And then we had XLV. Same thing, yet prior day high, 141.44, and our low today was 141.70. This can give you some great clues as to who is playing ball and means business versus who is just kind of weak and not really playing defense. And prior to the market opening, we were looking at XLV in the pregame and our market open show this morning, and I was pointing out this high compression squeeze on healthcare, and it really played out to the upside. Healthcare really led today, and then XLF led. All right, let's go look at the indices. Now that we kind of got our bearings as to what was happening, we have ES that had a great morning, or then around 11:30, we pulled back pretty hard. We tested the prior day high and then bounced. And you can see it here on SPY. That's pretty good defense by the bulls. I don't think that's too shabby at all. QQQ, didn't play as much defense. It was a little bit heavier than SPY, but overall, I would say it had a decent performance. It's closing flat to green. I think that's all the bulls can ask for today. And then the Russell, we closed green. We have some aftermarket action, but that's really can be low volume. We'll see tomorrow if the Russell stays green. And I apologize for that yard noise. They are consistent. As soon as I try to go live, they start mowing their yard. Okay, we have Dow. The Dow is up here, and we were playing defense. The bulls were playing defense here at yesterday's close and yesterday's high. Overall, we have a downtrend line that we can watch tomorrow. Let me draw that line real quick. Yeah, oops. Yeah, I think that's a trend line that we can watch tomorrow. If it were to breach to the upside, that could be a long play. And looking at VIX, VIX is closing red. VIX lost the 1344 support, and it was really, fear was exiting stage right. So despite the market feeling heavy in the afternoon, VIX did not correlate. And they usually have an inverse correlation, and they did not today. That's notable. There wasn't a lot of fear in today's down move. If we look at tomorrow's events, we don't have a lot. We have oil inventory. We have oil inventory after hours today at 4:30 Eastern. We have the API estimates, and then the actual inventory at 10:30 tomorrow. We have two different types of oil reports, and then the 10-year note auction. So we really kind of have a easy week as far as data, but we do have a lot of earnings that are going on right now. All right, so VIX, we covered that the usual inverse correlation was not in play today. Bitcoin was pretty weak. We defended the low of yesterday, but I would say that's the only credit we can really give the bulls is, okay, you defended the low of yesterday. And right now, bears are looking to short 15-minute overbought conditions right here and right here. I call that reverse back burner, and that was one of my trade ideas this morning is wait for 15-minute overbought conditions for potential shorts as we were looking for a 4-hour lower high on Bitcoin. Coin did not match up with Bitcoin at all. Bitcoin's only down 0.08 and coin is down 5.5%. I think that bears could be looking for a reverse back burner tomorrow, looking for 5 or 15-minute overbought conditions during regular trading hours to short coin. Coin was super weak. Mara has earnings Thursday after hours to be aware of. They held up pretty nicely, actually. It has a trend line here and here. Rivian's popping. Oh, that's not my chart I want to look at. Sorry. Yeah, Rivian is popping on earnings. We'll see how this develops. They had announced a relationship with Apple early this morning, so they were on my radar already, and they're popping on earnings. All right, so Mara held okay. It's still below the 15-minute EMAs. I think that you could short this on a bounce, but if you're trying to choose between two names, I would short Coin because it's definitely weaker, or Riot. Riot's definitely weaker than Mara. You could look for bounces to short, stay in reverse back burner mode. Dollar has a potential 30-minute bull flag at the moment and an hourly bull flag, pretty strong. And that's a headwind for the market. It's not always an inverse correlation. However, sometimes we really make note of it. And I would say that this had something to do with today's last half of the day heaviness is the dollar strength. Looking at gold, this looks like a 15-minute falling wedge, a 30-minute falling wedge, actually. So we're closing with a daily inside bar. Bulls held up okay considering the dollar strength. Oil broke its daily stair step to the upside by 8 cents. I know that bulls want to see a little bit more convincing here. What we're looking for is the weekly higher low. So I've been pointing out on the pregame show, this is a great name to just kind of look at your various time frames. What are you looking for? Weekly, we're looking for a higher low and we're at the 50 EMA. Daily, we're looking for a lower high on the next bounce. 4-hour, lower high on the next bounce. Hourly, we got the higher high. So we were looking for lower highs. We got the higher high. Now something's changed. And this may be the opportunity to start looking for that weekly higher low as the mood of the bulls has changed on the hourly chart by making that higher high. CCJ is a name that has just been on fire. We were unable to get through the 52.64 in a meaningful way. I would call that a double top, 52.64 and 52.80. I'd watch that. I've had this one on watch due to the high compression squeeze. It's got great follow through. However, right now I would say this is a double top and we could look for a short. AMD, we're looking for a lower high relative to 162.29. It barely made it over the prior day high and then rolled over. AMD has room for a 4-hour higher low and a daily higher low, but the bulls need to get to stepping and get that in place sooner than later. NVIDIA, this wick is erroneous. That's not accurate at all. I can't stand it when TradingView does that. They held the prior day low. I would say they broke it by 44 cents. I'm going to call that an inside bar. When we talked this morning on the pregame show, we were talking around here. We looked at it and said, dang, the size of that range and inside bar is the more likely scenario. And what happens with inside bars? We have probes of liquidity to the upside and to the downside where bulls and bears are trying to find that liquidity, and because it's an inside bar, you have misdirection on shorter term time frames. And I would say that's what happened with NVDA. SMCI, we did break bull by $1, but I would still call this an inside bar as well. It held up better than NVDA, however. What is this doing on the 4-hour? We're looking for a daily higher low on SMCI as well. Apple was different than the others. It's closing green. It was a little more bullish. It was unable to hold over the prior day high and promptly went to yesterday's close and bulls defended. Overall, I like Apple. I like Apple here at the daily 200 MA. I can't think of a better place to buy. I mean, we do have this gap. That's the only hesitation, but we do have the daily 200 MA. Amazon with a new all-time high today by 17 cents. Not really convincing. Amazon bulls want to see a little bit more of a bull break. Let's go ahead and get through 190 and get the bears off this chart for the short term. Microsoft breached the prior day high and then promptly came back inside. They have enough room for a 4-hour higher low and a daily higher low. A lot of these names have room for higher lows on 4-hour and daily time frames. We're rejecting at the daily 200 MA. Didn't want to go over those. Shop has earnings tomorrow morning, just something to be aware of. Tesla was heavy. Tesla is one of those names that broke the prior day low. It did not break the 176.02 daily support. We'll see if they can find support here at the daily 50 MA. But overall, bulls have to be pretty disappointed in Tesla and its performance today. Speaking of being disappointed, CGC closing red today. We are looking for a daily higher low prior to 810. But again, bulls need to get to stepping on this one as well because there's been no sign of them. MSOS, very weak. We're looking for a daily higher low compared to 832. They need to jump to it. Tilray, same thing. We're looking for a daily higher low, and we're at the daily 50 MA. XLF, we talked about XLF. It got through this 41.23, but bulls want to see a little more convincing. On the pullback, we're looking for a 4-hour higher low and a daily higher low. XLV, what a performance. Nice bull volume. They do have to deal with a daily 50 MA sooner than later, so that's something to think about. GameStop, we have double daily inside bars, and it was unable to get through that 1740 today. What a recovery. It was short sell restricted today, meaning it went down 10% the prior day. And I mean, wow. Just what a recovery. And it was bouncing while the market was pulling back. I had a losing trade on pins. I was looking at pins filling this looking over here at 41.60, and it was unable to get through it initially, so I shorted it, and then it broke through 41.60 a little more convincing, and so I stopped out. Snap is the one that had the gap fill right there. I was looking to short against 16.77. We broke that pretty quickly, and I was stopped out of that one as well for just a paper cut. 17.50 is still resistance. This could be still be a good short if the market is weak tomorrow. My 3 ideas that I have: Goldman Sachs. This is a trend line that I think I could get my 7-year-old nephew to draw. It's just so straightforward. We hit a new all-time high today. If it were to break this trend line, I would look for a quick short. It could be a daily bull flag, so I don't want to get caught in it, but it is something I'm watching. Costco has been a name that I called out yesterday on pregame. We have a gap at 77576 that we haven't filled yet. We have this wonderful daily squeeze. It's just such a beautiful pattern. So this was my swing idea, and it is working. INMD. They had this high compression squeeze yesterday, and we broke over 1807, and this was my other swing idea from yesterday. And I would say it's still working. We have room for a 4-hour higher low. And I think that's all I wanted to show you. Again, I'll be watching MSTR, Snow, and Tesla for potential shorts tomorrow. All right, thank you for joining me, and use stop losses.